Hi you guys, it's Acrylic Painting Monday. This 14 by 18 canvas really showcases the lighthouse and the rocks and the grass growing up. And if this looks complicated, I'm going to show you how to get this palette knife effect using just this Bristol-on angle brush. This is a 3/4. They make them smaller. You'll be amazed at a palette knife effect you can get with that. And as complicated as this looks, trust me, we're going to break it down step by step. And I think you're going to find that this lighthouse might be a new treasure hanging in your home. And we want you to have fun with this. I'm going to look up and talk to you for a little bit and just say that this is a premiere. And because of the length of time that we thought we would be needing premieres, we have gone out of our way to give you the best, most wonderful videos possible. You're going to love this and you're going to learn so much. And I can't wait to see what you paint, because I'll be either looking for you in the personal art coaching when you send it in, or in our acrylic painting club on Facebook, because I'm excited to see how you do with this video, because you're going to love it, and I'm excited that we're going to be painting this lighthouse. Hi you guys, it's Ginger Cook. It's Acrylic Painting Monday, and we're doing something a little different this Monday. We had a lot of these 11 by 14 canvases.
No, that'd be a 14 by 18.
Whatever it was, we had a lot of them. We had a lot of these things. John says, we need to use up some of these canvases. I'm going, you sure? Yeah, you think so? So we're going to do it. We're going to paint this lighthouse. I think we're going to do it in one session, but if we can't, we've divided it into 2 weeks. We're going to take our time with this and just, really try to do a good job on it. And we haven't done a lot of, where we've divided the session into 2. But I'd rather give you the best tutorial possible than rush through this, because of, canvas like this, they're not cheap, as opposed to, say, a 16 by 20, a little bit more money. So you're going to use a little more paint. So let's take a little time with this. So you'll notice all these different blues we have in here. I have drawn on the cliffs because I want different underpainting colors on the cliffs than I do on the ocean. All right, so this is just ultramarine blue and white, the canvas. All right, and and let me just take you over here and show you my colors.
Wait.
Right, so I want you to see, this is one of my, of course we keep repeating that, but it's a legacy palette. It's colors I use all the time. And so we've got the Masterson Stay Wet. So we've got some fresh buff titanium, some titanium white. Just put some blue umber out, burnt umber, burnt sienna, phthalo blue, ultramarine blue. This is Payne's gray. This is cad red medium, cad red light. This is cadmium orange. With these two are magenta, raw sienna, yellow ochre, and cad yellow medium. So those are the colors.
And the green you have up there.
And then phthalo green. That just happened to be on the palette, and I don't know if we'll need it or not.
We may not use it.
We may or may not use it. But with water, it never hurts to use it when you're doing water.
Yeah.
Phthalo green makes a very nice blue color. So I think in order to so I don't kind of mess this all up, I'm going to go ahead and do an underpainting on the rocks. All right, because I think that's important.
Coat. The first huggy layer.
My first huggy layer. So I'm going to take some burnt umber and a little ultramarine blue, and I'm going to come down here like this, put a little bit ultramarine blue in that, and I want a dark area right here. Keep these cliff level, keep that level here, straight across, right? So I'm going to just do, as long as I'm doing it, I'm just going to do that, right? And there's a little bit of, let me just put this up out of here. And I've got a big glob of paint. Now, one of the things you don't want to do is have a big glob of paint on your brush. So let's flatten it out a little bit here. And I know I've got something dark coming up here on this side of my cliff. Like that. So I'll just put that in there now. And these little rocks here are dark. Okay, and I think this cliff we could say is dark right here. We'll put some other colors over it, but I think that's safe to say that's pretty dark. Okay. So I wanted that as a sort of a base underpainting color. Then I'm not going to rinse the brush. I'm just going to get some burnt umber, and I'm going to come down here like this, and I guess that's burnt sienna, but I'll put a little bit of burnt umber and burnt sienna together down in here like this. Just a little bit of the black with it. Payne's gray. This can be darker. And as we come up here, we can do more of the burnt sienna color. And you just want to get these undertone colors in, right? And take a little bit of that orange too. That's pretty. Put that in there. A little bit more burnt umber. There you go. So I'm going to just say that this area here is this. This is our underpainting color for this. Everything else will go on top of this. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take burnt sienna and a little bit of yellow ochre, and I'm going to go, these are my cliffs here. All right, so I want kind of this color in here. It's just up in here like this. We're going to do this color up here. I'm going to take a little bit of ultramarine blue and buff titanium and make this sort of a gray color in here. It's just the underpainting, but I want to kind of get it to the tones that I want. And then the same thing over here with this. I want this cliff to be kind of beige with the little bit of burnt sienna here. So then this top of the cliff is put a little orange with that. That's the top of the cliff here. That's coming down like this. So it's like, we just generally do a quick layout of this painting. And that's just so that we preserve this area. And then I'm just doing a little buff titanium here for where the lighthouse. This is where our lighthouse is going to be. It's going to be. So when we put the when we draw on the tower and so forth, and then we'll know how to line this up. Okay. So that's what I've got going here, and then I'm going to take some little bit of gray color, right? And I'm going to just come through here like this. And let's see, maybe let's a little bit of Payne's gray and white. I'm just going to make a little bit of a gray color here on the cliff. I can do that. So we'll just put a little bit of blue in that. There's our path coming down here. So that gives us a little bit of a starting point with all this. Okay. So it's not, just basically what we're doing is we're blocking it in. Now for the ocean really has we have a good underpainting color on this. So what I want to do now is just dry this so that I'll get my hand in it and it gets all messy. Okay. All right, so this is kind of close to me, so I'm going to go ahead and paint the water in. All right, so I want to take some white and a little phthalo green and a little phthalo blue. Okay. See how bright that is? Now let's take some cad red light in it. Let's gray it out. You can gray out colors with their complement. You see how that's graying this out?
Makes it not quite so bright.
Yeah, and I'll take a little bit of burnt umber in that. Okay, so now we've really graded. We've got this. So that's the color of this water. I think I'll put a little bit of ultramarine blue and phthalo in that. Yeah. And I'm just keeping this, a lot of thick brush strokes going. A little bit of ultramarine blue and phthalo. It's a little light. A lot of thick paint on the brush. Keep the brush strokes going across like this. Keep it level. I think you're going to find this easier than, who knows, maybe we'll even finish it today. We don't know. That's the fun about painting. You just don't know. Now we're going to take a little bit of phthalo blue and ultramarine blue and make this a little darker as we come down like this. A little bit of ultramarine blue, a little bit of magenta. Make this a little darker. Now let's get some ultramarine blue and Payne's gray. Just we get it darker. Still. A little bit more blue. A little bit of Payne's gray. This corner is very dark down here. And there's some dark in here, but I don't know if we can do it unless we dry it, but we can try a little bit like this. Just a little bit of this dark color coming in here like that. This is still pretty wet, but let's see what we can do. All right. Now I'm going to take a little bit of white with this and come over here and do this side of the water on the cliff. Okay. So that's a good base coat for our water. And you'll notice that it's everything. We don't try to do it all at once. Keep all the brush strokes kind of level. And let's just take a moment and dry that. Now I want to work a little bit on my cliffs and stuff before I finish the water. But we can do that.
It's already taken shape.
Well, it has, hasn't it? So let's start off by saying, for instance, we know that, for instance, this area right here, this is this comes up like this, and comes down like this. Okay. Okay. So the trick to doing this is we're going to take the brush and using the side of it. Got some buff titanium here, right? And I'm going to use the side of it. And I'm not painting, I'm tapping that color on here like this, letting some of the brown show through. Just put the paint on one side of the brush. Okay. Now I'm going to come up here with a little bit of that color and a little bit of yellow ochre. And I'm going to say that this is a little bit of this color up here, like that. Maybe some of that in here too. And then I know I've got this color coming down like this. Okay, so we're gonna take some burnt sienna, do the same thing, tapping it on here. And a little bit of orange and yellow ochre. Tap that on. And a little bit of raw sienna and that orange and buff titanium, like that color. See that there's that color right there, and a little bit of that right there. And I've got a little bit of this color here too. There's a little bit of this color over in here too. All right. Now the trick is that if you're doing lights and darks, then if you're gonna go into some darks, you got to dry the lights. All right, and I'm going to change some colors now. I'm going to go into a kind of a purple brown color. I'm going to pick some magenta, a little bit of buff titanium, and burnt umber, magenta. Okay, kind of a purple brown color, right, like that. And I want to put this color in here like that. That one goes over here too, pretty nicely on that side.
It looks very rocky.
Doesn't that look kind of rocky? Okay.
Which brush are you using there?
I'm just a 5/8 inch.
5/8 angle, Bristol on.
Yeah, so I'm going to do that. So I've got that color, and then I'm going to I need a little gray, so I'm going to take a little bit of Payne's gray and white. Okay. And a little ultramarine blue. A little bit of orange. Okay, so I'm going to say that these colors are in here too. And if I put some burnt umber in that, and a little bit more blue. And now I'm going to change brushes. I want a different size brush because I'm making all the same marks. I get a littler one, like this little angle. Like that. Here's some ultramarine blue coming up here like this. Down. Like this. Come over this way a little bit. That. And I'll just do a little bit of that mauve color again. There's kind of a purple gray color. Let's see where else I can put it. All right, now we're not using a palette knife, but we're getting this palette knife effect by just using the brush in a certain way. Sometimes you have to change brushes to get certain detail areas, right? Okay. Now let's come back to this buff titanium color. Bring that down. Don't want quite a straight line here, so I'll just make a little jaggeder. A little bit of buff titanium there. Well, a little bit of light gray color. A little bit of orange and burnt sienna. See how we're getting that cliff? Make that a little lighter here. So it's like a puzzle, but you're making all the pieces. You're making all the puzzle pieces up, right?
Making the pieces as you go.
You're making the pieces as you go. So here's some burnt umber and a little bit of burnt sienna. Tap that on here like that. Okay. You've got to remember to put some dark back in a couple places. Break up the cliff a little bit. Put some cracks in the rocks coming up. Want a little bit of purple in the black for this cliff right here. We'll say a little blue and ultramarine blue. Got some blue coming up on this cliff right here. Some darker blue right up here. Darker blue right here. So put a little black with that blue. It's too blue. So now I can come up the cliff with my second coat of real dark color. Okay. All right, so I think we're getting somewhere with these cliffs a little bit. Put another little kind of cliffy thing out this way. See how we're putting that in? Now, let's try that. Hi, you guys, Ginger Cook here, and these are the paintings that will be drawn for our fourth quarter. Yeah, wow, the days are going by fast, and so did this year. For our scholarship fund, for those of you who have been contributing at least $25 over the last 3 months, either on YouTube or in our academy, have a ticket in the fishbowl for drawing to win one of these original paintings. And I just love these penguins. That was a Christmas painting we did last year for you. The frames we found on Amazon, they were very reasonable, and Jerry's Autorama, these wooden ones. So just in case anybody asks us, the frames of course, aren't with the paintings. But I think you're going to love the penguins and these cattails. This is one of my favorite tutorials we've ever done on YouTube. I really debated hard whether to put this in there, but we so appreciate your donations. That's what keeps the channel going and allows us to scholarship artists in our acrylic painting with Ginger Cook Scholarship Fund, where they can get personal art coaching and help somebody become an artist. So there's these cattails. You would probably remember this tutorial this year of the Mediterranean window. John, can you zoom in? Look at the texture on this. Can you see all the texture on the flowers? This is such a cool painting. I think you would really love to be able to see all the blending and layers and everything in this. The TV cannot show, or the computer can't show you how marvelous these colors are. Everyone that's ever gotten an original painting from me, of course, these come with certificates of authenticity, has said that the colors are so much more magnificent than what we can even show you here, even though they have been varnished. This was a painting that I did for the Academy, and it's called Michigan House, and it's in the style of Thomas Kincaid. And again, this is one of my favorites. I think that you might really, really love it. And if I just turn this like this for a minute, I'm going to show you. We decided to do the reindeer, and we thought that some of you might enjoy that as a Christmas decoration, and this will be shipped to you in time for Christmas, or because they're going out. I don't know when, John, but first week of December, so we're going to get these to you. And I don't know, this was a YouTube painting. If you haven't seen this YouTube video, we did it on YouTube. I think did we do it on YouTube or in the Academy? I think we did. So anyway, there's somewhere, right? And then finally, let me just show you I'm just going to pop it on top. Here's our the kids on a log, on a farm, and I think that's really. I think this is charming and sweet, and maybe brings back some memories that you have. And anyway, these will be just some of the paintings. Depending on the donations that come in, there'll be a few surprises. And so again, we thank you very much for that. And I must look up here, John, and say that your contributions are so appreciated. They keep the channel going, and also they allow artists to continue with their art education, and that from all over the world. I'm talking globally, and it makes such a difference, and you're part of that. So thank you very much, and we love you guys, and happy holidays. Okay. Now we're going to take a little bit of white and phthalo blue. Okay, a little bit. Kind of tap it on here like this. There you go, something like this. And we're going to come up here like this. A little bit of buff titanium and white, I think. Tap this water on like this. A little bit of buff titanium. And then we've got, remember I said we had to do the cliffs first because we've got some water coming up this way on them. I'm going to do phthalo green and ultramarine blue.
Great combination.
And do a little bit of this lighter green right in here. Then go into a little ultramarine blue. Kind of mix it together. A little bit of ultramarine blue and magenta. Come under here with some darker stuff. See how we're putting in that coastline? And then we've got more of the buff titanium with a little bit of white in it. Not much like that. And then back to the buff. It comes around this cliff like that. And there's just a little bit of this up in here like that. And that's really, I mean, you think of this water looks really complicated, but when you break it down into just steps, a little bit of magenta and ultramarine blue, you know you've got some darks coming this way off the edge, right? It's almost a rock, and it's almost feel like it's got to be a little, almost like a rock there. It's a little bit of beige. So it's just interesting to me how you can
You're just piecing it together.
You can just put it together and just pull the water around the rock. See, you just can suggest this, all this neat stuff that's happening in this rock here. Put a little purple on it. And then I've got some pretty dark stuff here. So ultramarine blue, black, and magenta. There's some real dark areas in here like this that we're putting like that. I'm just using flat brush strokes. A little bit of wave action here. Yeah, it's not kind of going straight across, but a little more wave action going up the cliff like that. Okay. John and I were really lucky. We were able to take a taxi one time. We missed the tour when we were in Naples on a cruise, and we missed the tour. And so rather than go back to the ship, we hired a taxi and made a deal with him, and he took us. He drove us up the Amalfi Coast and stopped wherever we wanted to stop, and it was terrific, wasn't it? Let's just stay a little blue and white now. I'm leaving some of the underpainting color so you see it. But we have a pretty good painting of water, right? Don't you think? And we haven't done anything. We haven't really done a thing. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that water. I'm going to just dry it. Now I need a very large brush for the sky because it's very simple sky, okay? It's a little bit different. The sky's very simple. So we're going to take the ultramarine blue and a little magenta and move my painting down. I'm going to come down with brush strokes. So take a little bit of phthalo blue and rough titanium too. Maybe I want that. A little bit of the phthalo green in it. Okay, and I think it has to have some orange and brown in it too. So we have to mix this color. It's not quite right. It's too bright. Yeah, it needs to be gray a little. I need a little phthalo green in that too. Um, let's see. I want it to be dark, a little bit darker than that. There you go, or just different, kind of a different tone. So I'm just going to start coming down with this. Got to make sure that we've got it all mixed really well with a little bit of brown, a little bit of orange. So then we want something even lighter than this. So then we're going to talk about white, quite a bit of white and phthalo green, phthalo blue. Now, how do we dull that down? We add a little bit of orange. That's the complement of turquoise. I think I'm going to use a little bit of matte medium with this. I'm going to need to work that a little bit.
I knew it. I just
I'll
knew
have to put some out, you guys, because I got to work that. It's just a little bit in here. Okay. There, it's a matte medium. I'm going to put it on my brush.
it. Just so smooth it out.
Yeah, because I need a little bit more working room than I've got here. And it changes color. There's some a little bit of yellow ochre in it too. Sky just sort of changes color completely. Then we've got some more phthalo. We'll get phthalo green in that. Yeah, the medium allows me to work this into the painting and keep adding colors. Because it's sort of, the sky is not the normal sky you would put in a painting. Let's get a little bit of the buff titanium in there. Take a little bit of that dark color that we made before. Put a little of that purple in there. I think that's pretty. I'm going to ad-lib the sky a little bit because why not, right? Yeah, that sounds like that feels like a sea day, doesn't it? All right, so I'm going to say that's my sky. There's a little bit more green in that sky. I might do that. A little bit of green in here. Just a little, make some um, yellow ochre with that. But let's see, I've got a little bit of there you go. So it's a little bit of this in here, just on the bottom here. There you go. Kind of this light line here. Go around the cliff. There. Whoops, don't want to have that go up. All right, so let's dry that.
A lot of drawing.
And then we're going to trace the, I'll just cut it so that it aligns up with what I'm trying to do here. So here's my my lighthouse right here. Let me just notch this in a minute.
You can see it. That's kind of your key. You're very good with scissors.
Okay, so now I've sort of notched this in like that. Okay, I'll tape that down.
You might want to make sure it's perpendicular.
I will do that. I just have to get rid of all this other stuff. So what we want is like this. You got to have this lighthouse straight up and down. Yes, you guys know that, right? Yeah. So it's got to be like this. So this is parallel, straight up and down, right? So let's just tape it like this. All right, now we got a little piece of transfer paper here. And do you see my triangle? Here it is. All right, on something like this, you got to use a straight edge. Go over it several times so you can see it, right? Yeah, let's see how that's working. That's interesting when you look at my lighthouse. it doesn't make sense the way it's drawn. So we're going to ignore that and draw this down here like that because the AI is incorrect. Wow, that happens all the time. You know that, right? So if you're just following blindly your AI image, you're going to be sorry, okay? So that this little house has to end here, not over there. All right? So, okay. So we got it, you guys. Now, what you do on something like this is, and this is important, is you have to tape that lighthouse.
It's got to have straight edges.
It has to have straight edges. You can't screw around with this, so you just really have to tape it.
No
Hold
monkey
the tape,
business here.
hold the tape tight, push one end down, and then do like that. Burnish the edges or squish them down. Like so, okay? With me? All right, now, this lighthouse, the way it's drawn, it's, the way it is in the image, it's almost like, we're gonna make it totally round, not quite so rectangle. But we'll take small brush, and let's see, let's take a palette knife and make sure that we have got this tape really mushed down. All right, we're going to start with probably yellow ochre and buff titanium, or raw sienna and buff titanium probably. We're going to go ahead and say this is our lighthouse first coat. Now I'm going to just turn it sideways so I can't, it's too far for me to reach, you guys. All right, so then it comes up, you get that much, and then it comes up here like that. It's a little bit lighter, like this at the top, kind of angles up. All right, and then I'm going to say that um, we're going to do some orange color. We're going to say that this is orange right here. And I need a little tiny brush to do the top of it. Some Payne's gray for the top, right like that. And then we've got part of this is black right here. And there's kind of a band around here like that. All right, now the lighthouse itself is kind of a light yellow and orange color. A little Bristol on. detail brush. It's one of my favorites because it's stiff. It's not like a watercolor brush. When you use one of those and it's stiff, okay? And you've got some yellow and white. Okay. Now that everything's had a chance to dry, so now see this is all, well, no, let's have to dry it. We have to dry it. Okay, so now we're gonna start putting on the texture for this. And let's see, I think I can turn my, there you go. So the lightest part of the lighthouse is here. There's a kind of there's a soft, blue area right here. Comes down like this. There was too much orange on the brush. Gonna rinse it. Try that color again. Very soft blue. I'll just put a little buff titanium in it. It's very light color. Now the other colors are, let's see, it's the little yellow, ochre and white. And then as we get into the lighter color, it's more like this. It's more this color right here. And then it just gets a little darker as it comes across. So the trick is to make sure that this is light enough over here. And you can have a little bit of, like, for instance, like up on the top here, you can bring some stuff down. Okay. And just a little buff titanium. Put it on the brush and wipe it off. All right, I think let's just turn it up here. I think that's light. I think that's maybe light enough. We'll try it and see, because it doesn't hurt to do it one more time. Yeah, see, I think it could use another coat of paint. See, a little bit of white and buff titanium. There we go. Put a little white with it this time. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that. So let's take the tape off. All right, now we're still playing with the lighthouse. We've got, we need to put some light color in here with the yellow. We had one little bit, but we don't have enough. Yeah, agree with me, yeah. We need a little bit more of this color right here. Okay. I might put a little of that yellow color here too. There we go. Now this is where you take a Posca pen and work on it. This curves around like this. Yeah, I'm going to dry that because you don't want to smear any of that, because this is probably the most detail in the painting is this lighthouse. How long have we been doing this for, John?
52.
Right about an hour, which we're doing pretty good here for an hour, huh?
I think you're doing great.
So I'm going to use a little straight edge, little tiny triangle. Would going to use it if it would write. All right, let's turn it right side up. See how we did. I think we did pretty good, don't you guys?
That is great.
With that, and just put that away, right? Now I need a little bit of burnt sienna, just a little bit of, remember that medium I talked about? Just a little bit of gloss medium,
Matte
burnt sienna, that matte medium, right?
Don't be changing on the folks.
Okay, a little bit of that in there like that. Okay. I think I want a little tiny bit of light right here. Yeah, so then there is a little tiny window in here like this. Now you could trace it on or draw it on or wherever. We're going to take a chance and just draw it on here like this. Straight up and down, doesn't curve. Sides are vertical to your canvas, right? Take a little orange with that. Okay, so that's what's there. And as long as I've got this brush, I'm going to go ahead and put this roof in of this part of the lighthouse and make it a little bit darker, say a little bit of burgundy with red in it. And then we're going to paint in this one like that. The trick is knowing how to break it down into when you can use a large brush, when you need to use a small one for more control. Okay. Now we'll dry that because I want to put in the beige and I don't want to get the wet red in the beige.
Ah, bonjour, mes amis. It is I, Vincent van Gogh, Yes, that Vincent. You may have heard of my little painting. Starry Night, it's okay. I have better ones. I'm taking a break from painting sunflowers to tell you about something quite extraordinary. Ginger Cook's Acrylic Painting Art Academy. You see, when you join as a red or purple member, you don't just learn from Ginger. Oh, no, no, no. You get to study the brushstrokes of my dearest old friends. Monet, Renoir, Gauguin. Okay, he still owes me a letter. Matisse, Picasso, even those brilliant Americans. Metcalfe, Homer, Rockwell. These are the greats, and Ginger makes their genius fun to learn. And let me tell you a secret. Museums don't let you touch their paintings, but in Ginger's Academy, you get to paint them. You'll see how the masters saw light, shadow, color, even if some of them couldn't find matching socks. So, if you're ready to laugh, learn, and paint your way through art history, join us. Red members get hundreds of full-length tutorials. Purple members, everything, including the wave and water masterclass. Yes, I peeked, and it's brilliant. Don't worry if you're not a genius yet. I wasn't either, until posthumously. Join us. Discover your style by standing on the shoulders of giants, and maybe me, if you're not too tall. Paint boldly, dream wildly, and remember, your masterpiece is just one brushstroke away. Join red or purple membership today. Learn from the masters. Paint like one. Join Ginger on her website, paintingwithginger.com.
Okay, so then where's our other little brush here? So we know that this is buffed up to a little bit of yellow ochre. Let's take a little bit of white with that. A little bit of yellow ochre and white, I think, is probably a good color. A little bit of cad yellow and more white. All right, there you go. That's the color I want. Okay, that's the lightest side of the lighthouse. And can I use this color over here somewhere too? Yes. I can add some of this lighter color. Look at that. Here. So see how you can do? See? So when you have one color, you always say, where else can I put it? Let's put a little bit of that lighter color right in here, like this. Okay. Now the next one has just a little, it's a little bit darker. It just put some raw sienna and white. Just add a little raw sienna to that, and that's the color of this one. It's just a little darker. Then we've got a little bit of burnt umber. One of the things that you want to do with buildings, I don't care if it's a lighthouse or what, is that you want to imply that there's splash up. Let me wipe all this color off my brush. I just have some brown on it. There's always a little bit of water splashes up on stuff. Okay. A little bit of yellow, something lighter. Okay, so there's the top of that, right? And let's see, I want a little bit of that color up here too. Where else can I use that color? Maybe here. Maybe down here. Okay, that's what I do. It says, where else can I use that color? Now, what I want to do next is do this path. Let's see. I think this is dry enough where I can do a line like that. Very slight line like this on the house. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, so now first thing we're going to do is make a gray. All right, so we're going to start with ultramarine blue and Thames gray and white. All right. Put a little phthalo green in it. A little bit more phthalo green in it. Now more white. That's the gray-green I want, okay? So we're going to come up here like this. And we're going to put this path, and it's almost at a slant here. It'll be kind of scary walking up it. Got something kind of big down here like this. Wider as it comes over to this edge. Put a little bit of yellow ochre with that. Maybe, there you go. Make it kind of a gray-green color like this. Kind of connect them, but just a slightly different color. A little bit of burnt sienna added to that color. See, like I'm doing right here. We're going to take a little bit of that light orange color, add to that, and a little bit of yellow. I'm going to come in here like that. Say that's this color right here. Okay. Then as long as I'm doing this, I'm going to take this paint on the brush, wipe it all off, and do a little of this on the cliff here. All right, now I'm going to dry the path, and then we're going to put the grass. Well, we can't put the grass yet because we have some lighter path that we have to put right there. So we got to have the white. All right, since we have some lighter gray that comes up here like this. See that? Has to be lighter. There's some light area right in here on this path. A little bit of it back up there too. And there's any of this light gray on the cliff, we need to put it too. Okay. And then I've got some kind of blue color gray over here. Maybe ultramarine blue. All right. Well, let's try that. Now, when we do the grass, we're going to do it. If you look at the picture, there's yellows and there's burnt siennas and there's dark browns on this side with some, magenta in it, right? So let's start by taking some orange and magenta like that and a little bit of dark color like black and come up here like this. And let's do some up and down lines like this. A little bit more of the magenta. A little bit of burnt sienna. No, this has to be really dark back in here, like that. Come up the side here like this. Gonna get a little bit of the cad red medium light. Ooh, put some black in that. That's too light. And I've got this corner's dark. Everybody can agree with that, right? Let's get a new palette out for mixing. Now I want some white and orange. And maybe my little brush. I'm going to start by let's see, let's put some medium on it because I tell you what, it doesn't flow very nicely. Let's do that. Let's add some matte medium. Put a little bit of yellow ochre and orange together. That's not right. Let's try it again. Don't have the color yet. Okay. Brush stroke is flip and lift up. Okay. And then we've got some yellow oxide, a little bit of buff titanium. Let's see, rinse the brush out there because we're too. Okay, so buff titanium, a little bit of yellow ochre. Okay. See how we're just kind of layering it in there? And there's a little bit of orange that gets layered in on this cliff edge. Some dark brown that crosses through the path. Just everything's sort of at an angle. Then maybe we're starting to go up and down. We're changing the direction, so starting to go up and down like this. Make sure you get enough paint. Get a little bit more red. See how I'm doing the path? And it's going to take a while to do the path. It just this isn't fast. This is probably the longest part of it.
Got little grasses to put in.
Yeah. You can block some of it in. You know, absolutely. You can take some areas and block it in. I'd almost use a grass brush for this, a grainer. Let's wet one and try it. It's just a Princeton grainer. I don't think that on this rough a canvas that makes any difference whatsoever. Might be a little easier to use though than the small brush, so we might consider doing it. Because you've got to block some of it in before you put the details, so some of this kind of can work a little bit, right? Let's see, yellow ochre. There's a lot of this color in here with some burnt sienna in it. Maybe some red in it. Like I say, I'll put the detail in, but I can block a lot of this stuff in just doing this. Let's see, there's some buff titanium. Probably should put some more out. There's one is something a little lighter up here.
Looking pretty good.
I mean, you could fudge a lot of this, right? When you're blocking it in, because when you stand back from it, it'll look like it's all fine. So it's just, you got to know when you can kind of, when you have to have some detail, and when you can kind of block it in. Um, See how we're just changing the direction of how we're painting. I want to take a little bit of burnt umber and burnt sienna, kind of narrow this path down like this. Got a little wide back up here, right? Okay, so that's not too bad for considering just a little bit amount of time we're painting on it, right? Okay. So let's try that. I'm going to just make a few little changes to the design. Like, this is, I need this to be darker in here, like that. Uh, this should come up a little higher like that. Okay. And we want a little bit of this blue down here with a little white to it. All right, so I've got to dry that before I do the bushes, the brushes. But maybe we can do this quicker than we think. What do you think, John? Let's try that.
Yeah.
So, what do we got? We have a brush like this.
That's one of the golden maple detail brushes.
These brushes are designed to make the grass. They're designed
Long
for
row
this.
grasses.
Got to have a lot of water on them. Or use flow paint. And roll them.
That helps keep all the hairs together. Don't have little frays.
We're kind of going straight up and down. Some may be kind of facing that way, but I would think the wind would cause them to go this way, but I don't know. I haven't
Well,
been
you know
there.
which way the wind's blowing today, do you?
Well, I don't. So I don't know where the wind's blowing, friends. Well, that was the song. The answers were in the blowing in the wind. The answers are blowing in the wind. Remember that?
Yep. Blowing in the wind.
Yeah. You have to try singing that song again these days. No, I don't have enough water on the brush, so I can't. No, other thing I can do is I can take I could pull it to a point, right? I wonder if I have a skinnier one of these. Let me look for a different one. This is a little fat. Try this one. Sort of. Yeah, that one's not going to do it, but it will do a little bit of this, but not enough to. That's. You've got to layer the colors. And you've got to have enough water on the brush for it to flow and still cover. I want some magenta in that color. Why, I have gone up mountain paths like this, John. It looks very familiar, doesn't it to you?
Yeah, it does. I've been there.
Here, it can make it a little bit darker on the edge here. We'll just take our time with this, This may be a longer video than you normally go, and if John and I are in premiere, we may not be able to stay with you for the whole thing. But I will go ahead and do my best to give you the best painting possible. Using a little black now. Remember, you can take black and thin out a line. If you get it too big, you can go back in with the black on this cliff, and just reshape some of your grasses. You can skinny them up that way too, right? You're not stuck with just this. Now let's try this one again. We try some flow. I own tons of flow. Do you know that? I own so much flow, and we never use it. We tell everybody, you should use flow. And then you see me do a tutorial, and I'm not using it. What's this? Yellow ochre. Well, there's a big thing of yellow ochre. You guys up for that? I mean, don't you think we should be using some flow?
Make it a lot easier. Now, could you add your matte medium to it?
It was too thick. The medium's too thick. I might have been able to use glazing medium with it, but the matte medium's too thick.
Gotcha.
But you got any more of these little cups, John?
You got a pile of them right back there, boss.
Do you?
Yeah.
Give me a, let's just put some flow paint in there and see if we can do it. Because sometimes
I guess you probably can't reach them. I keep them out of your reach.
John just hides them. Give me about a couple of them, so I'll put
Give you about a couple of them.
Give me 2. All right, so I'm
Here's
going to
about a
put some.
couple.
All right, so that's some flow yellow ochre, right, by Golden. That's, you know. And let's see, what other color do I got? I have that color.
Got all kinds of colors.
And then I have Indian yellow hue. That sounds pretty. Don't know what that is, but, you know. Let's see, do we have to take the, we have to take the lid off of this one. Here, John. Oh, I got it.
We have to. I get it.
No, I got
That's
it.
the royal
You got to take the lid off of that because we had never used it. We've had these for years. We've never used it. We just, yeah, here you go. There we got that one. What else we got? Burn Umber.
Yeah, burnt umber light.
Oh, burn umber light. Let's do that.
Burnt sienna.
Burnt sienna. Oh gosh, we got some stuff, right?
Yellow orchid.
Yeah, I think I could probably put these in different. Yeah, let's shake it up.
You have a green in there.
All right, let's just try these for now, and let's see what our little tiny brush can do if we have some flow. All right, you guys with me? We want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. All right, here we go. Put it just on the tip. Gosh.
It's amazing how that works, isn't it? Who knew?
Well, I'll put a little white with that. Wonder if I can mix some colors and still have it work pretty good. Put a little white with it. I think it's flowy enough. And then you got to kind of put the brush to a tip and a point, and then kind of reshape the brush, and I think you can get it. I'm going to put a little bit of orange with that. Cad red medium. Some white. A little bit of water. Yeah, that's happy. Where's the white flow? I have that. I'm going to lighten this up with white flow. Why am I using regular this when I have white flow? Where did that go? We had a big bottle of that. Yeah, here. We had a big thing of that. We will mix some colors, some flow colors.
You have them, you might as well use them.
Well, yeah, that's right. That's right. All right, so I've got some lighter ones. Different kind of weeds here like that.
think it's looking better than the reference.
Thanks. You don't want to get it too busy. Got to be careful. It's just get it in sort of tones here. Well, that's not too shabby, right? It's kind of working, right?
I like it.
Some brush strokes are going sideways. Remember, you got what is this? We'll take a little bit of gray here. It's a little purple color. Okay. I don't hate that. How's that?
Because you hate it.
I
You
don't
can't hate it.
right? I think that's a good sign. I don't hate it. Ginger doesn't hate it, so
Yeah, that's a plus.
that's a lot of time. A lot of times Ginger paints stuff and she just hates it. I don't know. You ever had that happen to you? You just hate it. Going, what happened? I hate this. You know.
I really like those grasses. I think should have done a painting of grasses.
Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of cool. Now I'm going to dry that so that I can reach up and put the windows on and everything. And we're just going to wind this down. And I think you could probably do a lot more than the time I'm going to allow for this video. But you certainly would understand. If you had the reference, I think you'd absolutely understand how to paint it.
Ahem. Watson here. Detective of fine arts and all things possible. It's no mystery how to learn to paint. Not when you've got Ginger Cook on your case. With just a few clues, a dab of colour here, a clever stroke there, you'll crack the code to painting me in all my terrierific glory. No need to hunt high and low, my dear artist. Red and purple members of Ginger's Academy have exclusive access to my full step-by-step tutorial. You'll master fur texture, glowing eyes, even this rather dashing coat. Ginger leaves no brushstroke unexplained. And between us, she's the real master behind the magnifying glass. So join the red or purple membership and let's solve the mystery of great painting together. Or you can purchase this one tutorial as a downloadable with no monthly subscription fees. Elementary, my dear artist, elementary. Be sure to check the description below for the website link.
So let's put another window in the house. Come up under here and just and we need a little bit of we need to just put a little shadow on this part, but next to the yeah, let's do this next to the lighthouse, and I'm going to get a little white. Just something like there, so that it has a little bit of a shadow to it. And we've got something kind of dark up around the lighthouse. Where's my Payne's gray? I'm all out. I'm not gonna just screw up the rest of the painting because I'm out of paint. Okay, where's the paper towel on this? All right, so we gotta have the right colors, or there's no point, right? Don't forget, you can use that dark color to give yourself a little leeway around stuff. We could put a little chimney on here, which we could do. We'll come up here like this and put a chimney on that house. And then we're going to use the buff titanium to do the front of it like that. There's the front side of it. It just doesn't, let's see, we want a little bit of something a little bit more growing up here around the house on the cliff. That kind of fix that up. Let's see, we've got some water around here. And I want some lighter water right here. You put the phthalo green and the phthalo blue together and you get a really nice sort of Southern Ocean blue. Matisse makes that. Okay. I always like to see where else I can put a color. Can I put a little blue on here? And then what is my tiniest brush I've got? This one. This is really tiny. Where's that flow stuff? Where'd that go? You roll that brush so it just has a little tiny bit of paint on it. You need just a few ones that have detail on it. They don't all need to, but you got to put a few in there that have it. That you just it's just kind of a thing. If you can do that. The trick is you have to be able to. Where's a Kleenex, John? Way over here. Sometimes I like Kleenex to shape my brush. It's softer on the brush. See, if I have a really thin, tiny brush, this is one of those golden maples. It's a 5-0. Came in the kit. There, see, we don't need a lot, but I want to get the lights and darks in where they go. This brush isn't going to do that. Getting down to the end of my paint. I can't believe we didn't get this quite light enough, this gray color. Acrylics dry darker, so you may think you've got the color, and then you've got to come back and double check because, for instance, this area in here is a lot lighter on here like that. It's just a little bit lighter than we had it, but you know, we could work on these things too. Let's see. This front of this cliff comes out like this and back in. There. Okay. Well, John, I think I'll call it a day. If I could paint on this for another few hours, and I'm sure you could too. But you know, if you look at our reference and you look at our painting,
They pretty much look the same.
I think it's how we would paint this, right? So I don't know what else you could say except it's, you know, every once in a while you got to go back with the white, right? Because you thought you had it and you didn't, right? See? I mean, that's the kind of thing that you want to kind of do. You know, there was some sort of little weed here that was growing, but I don't think we need to put that in there. Well, I will sign it in the corner. If I were ever to come back on that and work on that a little bit, maybe I would do something else. I might even do a different sky than in the reference, but I'm just, you know, for the purpose of the video, I'm showing you how you do a reference like that, you know, how you paint that. And let me just do one little thing. I want to take this, just soften this edge here with a smudgy. There. Okay. All right. There's our lighthouse at where is it?
Pointe Hatteras.
Pointe Hatteras Lighthouse. There's our lighthouse, and we were able to create this painting with giving it a palette knife effect without using a palette knife, and I think we get a yay for that, don't we?
You get a yay! Yay!
Yay! We gotta get a yay for that, right?
I really like it. I think it came out great.
Thanks, John. You are a great support. So there you go. If you can't travel there, you can paint it.
Absolutely.
Please give us a like to this channel. Be sure to be subscribing if you haven't, and share the videos. Let other people know that you're what you're painting and what you like to paint, and what you like to see on YouTube. We appreciate it very much, and have a wonderful weekend. You'll be surprised that we're going to do something totally different next week. So
you never know.
You never know with us what we're going to be painting. You just don't know.
Thanks, everyone. Again, on the way out, subscribe if you haven't. Hit the thumbs up. And again, close the door if you're the last person out. And don't forget to let the cat out.
Thanks, our mods, for hanging in there with us. Love you guys.
Bye, everyone.